As a retired New Jersey police officer, I have responded to countless calls during my 20-year tenure. However, one incident stands out as particularly distressing. For legal purposes, I will refrain from revealing the specific name of the middle school involved in this harrowing event. The date was marked by a tempestuous, somber sky, and my patrol vehicle was summoned to address a school lockdown caused by a suspicious character lurking near the premises. A report indicated that a man had exited a white van parked behind the school, entering through the rear doorway leading to the boys' locker room. Upon arriving at the scene, I discovered the described vehicle abandoned in the back parking lot. All doors and the trunk were securely fastened, yielding no signs of recent activity. Adjacent to the van, I located the crimson entrance facilitating admittance to the gymnasium wing, which housed the locker rooms. Darkness swallowed the interior of the school, amplifying the tense atmosphere. Clutching my trustworthy flashlight, I carefully proceeded through the empty corridors, eventually reaching the expansive lobby. Here, a female employee gestured towards the locker room complex, whispering a dire warning. The intruder may be armed. Summoning assistance over the radio, I learned that reinforcements were already en route. Navigating back to the familiar junction, I braced myself as I approached the boys' locker room, flanking the emergency exit. Inside, absolute darkness cloaked the space, broken only by the beam of my flashlight. Strange whirring noises echoed throughout, accompanied by barely audible scrapes against metal surfaces. Perspiration dampened my brow as I attempted to establish authority by declaring my presence as a police officer. Feeble cries for aid drifted from the depths of the cavernous chamber, propelling me forward. Gun poised, I cautiously moved deeper into the locker room, drawn to the source of the terrified pleading. Suddenly, a thunderous crash rang out from an adjacent alcove, revealing itself as the boys' football team locker room. Separation between the two areas was non-existent, granting clear sightlines to oversized compartments capable of housing athletic gear. Amidst the rows of containers, I stumbled upon a distressed young boy imprisoned within, bearing injuries inflicted by a sinister captor. Frantically, I dialed for backup and dashed outside to locate the absent van. Neglecting to record vital identifying details proved detrimental, as the suspicious vehicle had vanished without a trace. Racing back indoors, I coordinated with the administrative staff to initiate an orderly evacuation while simultaneously requesting assistance in liberating the trapped victim. Tragically, the kidnapping ordeal entailed the use of a sharp instrument, resulting in severe wounds sustained by the innocent adolescent. Thankfully, authorities subsequently apprehended the perpetrator based on eyewitness accounts and substantial proof linking him to the crime. Meanwhile, I found myself far from home, pursuing higher education at Rowan University, where a mysterious alarm system activated in my lodgings. Caught off guard, I reacted instinctively, remaining vigilant and prepared for whatever lay ahead. During my junior year of high school, I found myself navigating the sprawling corridors and diverse academic offerings of our institution, a massive structure spanning 3 expansive levels. Nestled within its depths were additional basement classrooms, an extension aimed at enriching our academic experiences. Among these subterranean chambers were 2 dedicated solely to the pursuit of scientific knowledge, housing classes like my beloved astronomy session. Despite efforts to refurbish the basement into a more conducive learning environment, remnants of its original aura persisted, such as the absence of overhead speakers and intercom systems. This quaint quirk relegated the basement to an unpopular locale for hosting classes, except for instances when educators sought respite from the bustling upper floors or desired a more intimate setting for specialized subjects. Yet there was one undeniable advantage to these basement classrooms: their proximity to exclusive restroom facilities, a luxury not afforded to other parts of the school. It was on an otherwise ordinary day, shortly after completing a routine assessment in my astronomy class, that I found myself ahead of my peers. With a bit of free time on my hands, I decided to rendezvous with a fellow student, JJ, near the lavatory. As we engaged in casual conversation, our tranquil moment was abruptly shattered by a notification on JG's device, announcing an active lockdown protocol within the school premises. Driven by curiosity mingled with apprehension, we ventured towards the upper levels of the building, hoping to glean more information about the unfolding situation. However, our journey was met with an eerie darkness, save for faint beams of light filtering through entrance portals from the reception zone above. Realizing the seriousness of the circumstances, we swiftly retreated back to the basement, seeking refuge in the farthest lavatory stall from the entryway, preparing ourselves for what could potentially be a prolonged lockdown. As the minutes stretched into what felt like hours, our senses heightened, attuned to any sign of movement or danger lurking beyond the confines of our hiding spot. It wasn't long before we heard the distinct sound of footsteps echoing through the corridors, their rhythm betraying a sense of urgency and unpredictability. Sensing imminent danger, I urged Gigi to quietly explore alternative escape routes within the lavatory stalls, hoping to find a way out before the situation escalated further. But before Gigi could act on my suggestion, the tranquility of our hiding place was shattered by the forceful attempts of an intruder trying to breach our sanctuary. Panic coursed through our veins as we scrambled to devise a plan of action. With adrenaline-fueled determination, we managed to break free from our hiding spot and confront the intruder, only to discover that it was JJ's own instructor, albeit in a state of distress. Relief washed over us as the instructor swiftly secured the entrapped students and initiated contact with law enforcement authorities. The details of the incident remained murky, leaving us with more questions than answers. However, it served as a wake-up call for the school administration, prompting them to implement stricter security measures and allocate resources for defensive initiatives. Students, too, became more vigilant, reporting any suspicious activity and fostering a heightened sense of awareness within the school community. Yet, despite these efforts, the perpetrator managed to evade capture, leaving behind lingering concerns about the possibility of future incidents.